This is an incredibly special day for my family and I. I want to thank President Rodriguez. Really appreciated our conversation during the process. Really gave me a great feel of the alignment from the top down to care for athletics and academics here. Really set this place apart in my head, in my mind, as we went through the process. Thank you to Mark and Vic. Throughout the process, we're just classy, first class the whole way. Did it the right way, which meant a lot to me, and the rest of the committee. It was just a first class operation, which I look for, I care about, as I go through process. And it's, a lot for them to entrust me with this historic program. It means a lot. I do not and will not take this appointment lightly in any way. So I think I said to Mark, and a big thanks to him, we were kind of finalizing things. I said to him, it takes big, I can't say the word here, can I? Takes big guts, for him to hire a coach with my background. It's not easy. I understand that part of it. It just took, I left FCS 20 years ago. It just took winning 80 games and 80-something games, almost 80%, and winning a lot of championships and those things to get noticed. But in my mind, the right people noticed me, and this worked out, and I couldn't be happier. As I looked at the position, spoke to the committee, I felt that there was a strong connection. As we talked, it was comfortable. It was, easy. And that's something that is understated at times. Getting along with people when you work with them this closely and the hours we'll put in is critically important, to me. It just became an amazing fit. I thought the connection on the values and the vision for athletics, top down, really made this the perfect job. After my playing days, which we didn't win many games, to be honest with you, I have vowed to work at places that I felt we could be successful. Before we went to Susquehanna, they had won 3 games in 2 years. Everyone's like, why do you want that job? They haven't been successful. I knew the pieces were in place. Throughout my career, I've looked at those things. I knew the pieces were in place to be really good, and I felt that aligned really closely with UAlbany. I think we can be outstanding here. I think we can be one of the most consistent, best programs in the region and in the country as we build this thing. So that was a big one for me. It checked all the boxes for me in the process and made me feel really comfortable to accept the position. Kind of diving in a little bit on vision, my staff and I will work tirelessly to build our program, and to build it to a point where the administration, right, our student athletes, our families, and most importantly, our alumni are proud. I felt like we did that at our last school, and I'm excited for that opportunity and that challenge here to do the same thing, is to make those people proud, and that's something that drives me as a leader in a big way. Okay, our staff will be great teachers of the game, great motivators, great men, great leaders in a lot of ways, and then obviously you got to have outstanding recruiters, right? Good players make you a good coach, as Coach Ford knows. So you got to have great players, and we're going to work tirelessly to make that happen. And utilize all the resources we have, both transfer portal and high school kids, to get that done. Our team will be known for how hard we play. That's a hallmark of the teams I've coached and been the leader of. How hard we play, how hard we prepare will be a big part of it. Our athletes will be well coached, put in situations to succeed, and be physically and mentally tough. And I think a lot of that starts with the preparation and what we do, but that will be the cornerstone of our program, is mental and physical toughness. We want to be a disciplined football team. We're going to work really hard to be detailed and disciplined in everything we do, on the field, off the field, all of that. I think is important for us to really set our sights on. And the one thing we're going to talk about is being grateful. Grateful for the opportunity to play football in college, being grateful for the opportunity to do it here, right, at a really special place, and then we're going to have fun. I don't want it to be a job for these guys, right? I want them to come to work every day excited about the weight room, the field, the workouts, the film sessions, all the things that will go into that. Excited about it and having a lot of fun doing it. We all know winning's fun, so that's the end goal, but there's a lot of things to get us there, but fun will be a big one. The development of the players will be at the forefront, as Mark talked about. I'm maniacal on development on and off the field, especially like the weight room part of it and how we go about it. So that will be at the forefront of how our staff will operate, how our strength conditioning coach will operate. But the player development on a year-to-year basis is going to be critical to our success and the continued success. That's something that we pride ourselves on. Mark talked about it. One of the things that, for me that is really big, I'm just not a complacent person by nature. I'm always looking for another way to do things, even if it worked, and I think there's better ways, and doing research and talking to people and figuring out your best way of doing things is really about, making some hard choices. Should we do that? Should we change? Because sometimes that's hard on the players, but for us, that will be something we'll look to continue to navigate as this crazy recruiting part happens in college football, and the things that are adjusting, we need to adjust with it and not complain about it. We need to figure out how the best way to do it is for us and get that done. That's really served me well here. Understand my mother, I'd come home with really good grades, and if it wasn't a perfect 100, she would ride me a little bit, so I thank her for that. There. The recruiting part of it, we want to find young men that are super competitive, but also care about their academics at a high level and love football. We want those traits to be there. We think that that's incredibly important to our success, team success. Guys that are about team, about taking care of each other, playing for each other, making sure that we're doing things the right way, but they're giving great effort in everything we have. Okay, winning is hard, and no matter what you do, people think it's easy. The fans think it's easy at times, but for us, understanding winning is hard, and there's a lot of sacrifice and work that goes into that. Our players will understand that, and we will instill that in them and embrace those things and not take anything for granted. Strong relationships will be a really big part of who we are. Obviously, recruiting's part of it, retention's part of that, but knowing the recruit, knowing their families, understanding relationships with coaches, their high school coaches, and then the relationships on campus in the community will be hugely important for us to represent the program and the university the right way in everything we do. That'll be critical. In the end, we'll look to make UAlbany one of the best programs around, a place where guys are dying to go to school and be a part of this tradition that we have. Coach Ford, we've talked a few times since I was named the coach. We promised to take care of your baby. I know that that this is the program you built and put on the map, and I don't take that lightly. My mentor, Mike Donnelly, who I spent 11 years with, and my middle son's middle name is after Coach Donnelly, who unfortunately passed away, meant the world to us. And he coached for Coach Ford. I used to tell a lot of stories in the office about coaching here and the way it was, back in the 70s. But I know this is a special place. I know what it means to you, Coach, and we definitely understand the responsibility that we have. Okay. I do want to take a minute to just thank Susquehanna. I'd be remiss if I didn't. They believed in me when I was an assistant coach to give me a chance as a head coach, and it was a hell of a ride. We won a ton of games, but most of all, we created a lot of great relationships with people. the admin, two different presidents, Jay Lemons and Jonathan Green, believed in our vision, supported us wholeheartedly, all the players and their families, and then our alumni. The outreach in the last 2 weeks has been kind of crazy, to say the least. It's been all super positive, and I really appreciate that from those folks, and thank them for that. I want to finish by thanking my family, my parents. Big deal in my life. And the work ethic they instilled is something that I've used really well. But mindset change. I'll tell this story. When I was in high school, I played at one of those lower level schools in New York, Class B, as people around here understand that. And I was an okay basketball player. I also played basketball in college a little bit as a walk-on. But I was struggling to get over where I wanted to get to, and so I was scoring 18 points, 17 points, 16 points, 19. I scored 19 like 3 games in a row. And I really wanted to break that 20 mark, right? I was dying to break that 20 mark. And I was riding home with my dad in the car, and he said to me, I said, I'm never going to break 20. And what he said to me was, you're never going to do that with that attitude. So, sorry. And thank you. I was hoping not to do that. But kind of changed my perspective on things, right? It changed about mindset and those things, and I've used that throughout the rest of my life, and I appreciate that. To my kids, love you to death. You guys make me better. Having kids has made me a better coach in a lot of ways. I think compassion, understanding the parent perspective really changed me. And, you see, once I had kids, we continue to get better and better. I don't know if it's they're the good luck charms, hopefully, and, but they made me a better person wholeheartedly. I love them to death. These next few months will be hard as we live apart, but we'll see each other enough, and that'll be great. But we're excited to join these guys are excited to join the Capital Region and really immerse ourselves into the community. And then to my wife, the real head coach of our family, she runs the show now. Our players will think I'm tough. She's the toughest one, I know. That's going to be hard to be a part a little bit here, but, FaceTime's great. And it's hard to be a coach's wife. It really is. The hours we put in, the time of year, the nonstop part of it. I've got an unbelievable partner. I'm a lucky man. Living apart, I wouldn't want to go through this without anybody else. She's awesome. And I know we'll be apart for a little bit here, but I'm really excited for this opportunity and to have her join us, be up here when she can be and live here. I know she's going to take it out on the bank account a little bit, for me. Right, honey? All right, be kind on that part of it, okay? Be kind for me. But really, in the end, guys, all kidding aside, it's an honor and a privilege to be the next head coach here at UAlbany. I just can't tell you how happy I am, how excited we are as a family to be here, and really, can't wait. We've already started, but can't wait to keep going and, meet a lot of people in the community. I've met a ton already. I promise I'm trying to remember everyone's name as we go. It's going to be easier said than done, but just keep introducing yourself, and I promise I'll get it. And again, I'm super excited. Our family's elated, and we're ready to get rolling. Okay. Look forward to seeing everyone in the fall as we open Friday night against New Hampshire. And go Great Danes. Thank you.